Hello, hello. Today I've decided to make a fitted diaper, but I can't use the printer, so we're going to do it this way. We're actually going to go printerless and draw our own. And I know that sounds daunting, like, oh man, I can't draw my own pattern, but we're actually going to look at the tablet. I'm going to see if I can get the tablet in view here. I keep moving the camera trying to get everything in view. That'll give you an idea. So this is the pre-fold to fitted website, and what I've got up right now is just an image of the pattern, and so I'm going to guess at how large this pattern is. So it looks like it goes to about this on the edge of the page and about here on the edge of the page. So we're gonna estimate, and you know, I'm not gonna be too picky about this. It's a fitted and it's meant to catch pee, lots and lots of pee. And that's probably about there. And I would say left of center. I hate rounded tabs, so I'm probably going to square that off anyway. But I just want to get it drawn up. And then that's probably left of center too. Center would be here, that's probably about there. Probably something like that. What do you think? How'd I do? Alright, not too shabby so far. Meh. Thinking my tab needs to be a little bit longer. Probably the right width. I just want to probably make my tab longer. What do you think? Let's square it up now. Square tab. Alright. And then we'll come off of about here. There and there. So we kind of want this to be even as it goes up one side and down the other. That way the tab, the flap, looks pretty equal. And we're just going to cut it like that. And then we'll serge it into the we don't need all this. Maybe I should make the round tabs just so that I can prove that I did it without a printer and it looks pretty much the same. What do you think? Do it. Do it. Change your mind over and over and over while people are watching. Round tab over there. Round tab. We're just being crafty. Alright. That looks okay. Cool. The elastic casing looks like it goes there. Next page. Oh, that's exactly the other direction. So I just need two of these, which I'll just cut one and Okay, what side is that? Oh, I get it. I get it. Do I get it? Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, next page we will do about here and here and here, and we'll do curve here. Oh, I think it needs to go down a little bit further, like that. I'm just guessing. We'll see. And this one is about here to here, dashed line. I'll go ahead and erase this one so later I know what I'm doing. Okay, next page. I don't need that one. I need this one. Let's see here. About there. About here. The tab is pretty much centered. Like that. Oh, I'm making the medium, by the way. Approximately. That looks good. Kind of want it to be uniform, or as uniform as possible. Let's turn it sideways and see if I can make one side look the same as the other. Or maybe that's not the goal. That's not the goal. Okay, let's tape these together. Trying to decide which side to cut. Let's cut this side. Pretty close. Tape there. Tape there. And then we don't need this yet. I will need it in just a second. And you're thinking, what are you doing with that other pattern? I'm just going to use it to check the size. I want to make sure this ends up being approximately the right size for my son. Whoa, check that out. That actually lines up. Well, one of them does. The other one is horribly wrong, but don't worry about it. We will. But that lined up and that lined up. Yeehaw! We just got some adjusting to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pattern that I am familiar with, one that I use frequently for my son, and that is not it. Here it is, Mr. OMMO. And verify that it is approximately the right width for my son. Now my tabs on So this tab ends about that much too short, but we make it up at this end. So that's perfectly fine, unless I'm using the wrong end. Turn it around. Oh, look. Perfect. So that right there is the perfect size for my son. The length is a little bit shorter than I typically do, so I'm going to probably lengthen it. Although this is going to be serged and not turned, so I don't need that extra length. I would have needed it if I was turning it, like I do with this pattern. And it looks like my tabs need to be probably just a little bit longer, just in case. So I'm going to make a mark here, and we're going to sort of try to lengthen those tabs just a little bit. And then as far as the, okay, so here's the line here, and I'm going to draw real quick where that is. From my pattern. So this is the pattern I use pretty frequently. And so I'm actually going to go with this, and I have no idea where that didn't even work out at all. But this one did, considering my Babyville pattern goes clear over to here, and most of this will be dashed line. So we're going to, oops, I'm sorry, I should go. And my Babyville pattern gets turned. This pattern is going to be serged. I'm not going to turn it, so I do not need that extra width. But I did want to see where it was going to end up. So now that I've seen it, let's get rid of it off the paper. All right, and then over here, we're just going to kind of make this, it lined up pretty well there, but let's just kind of want to make sure that it's going to be wide enough to go across. I kind of want full coverage here. We have 3 inches, so 6 inches total when we get both halves together. And I just want to make sure that it's 5. So I could go clear out to here even. Let's split the difference and go just a little bit past 5. See what we're getting at here. Kind of come off of here. I want this curve to be similar across both pieces. I like that. You know, because it's serged and this is just a soaker part, if I don't like it, I can adjust that simply by cutting it and reserging it right there. So I'm going to go with the larger look, and if it doesn't fit, I can make it smaller. And when I do that, I will make this pattern smaller as well. That way later I can use it again. So I have half a pattern. Let's go ahead and make the other half. I'm going to grab 3 more pieces of paper. This is just scrap paper from making another pattern that did not work out. I printed it with the wrong print settings. My bad. It happens. I actually don't want to get too close to that there because it makes it a pain to fold with the tape in the way. And since I don't have to fold on that tape right there, I choose not to. Folding tape is a pain. So this is how you make a pattern from a picture without a printer. Okay, now I'm gonna fold this in half. I only needed 3 of those images, and I just kind of guessed at what they looked like on the paper. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence because I was trying to get this straight. You know, because I had this outline and I had this outline, and so I just guessed where those lines go. But luckily for me, I actually do have a diaper pattern here I can compare the size to. If you don't, then maybe it'll be a little bit more difficult. But it does say 1 inch right there, so maybe you can use that too. Oh yeah, I was going to make my tabs a little longer. I almost forgot to do that. Their tabs are probably real short, but I still feel like my tabs should be a little longer. If I get this thing serged up and I don't like these long tabs, I can cut them off. But if I don't put them on there right now and later I want them long, it's going to be a little bit trickier. Not impossible, but trickier. So let's just not even go down that path. Let's get it right the first time. So now my question is, do I want to go ahead and use my hemp bamboo stuff, or do I want to chicken out and use a t-shirt instead for now? I'm thinking I'll chicken out and use a t-shirt instead. I need to cut that farther down, but just hang on. I'm going to get the rest of this pattern cut out and looking okay, and then I will cut that better. I'm drowning in paper here. Give me a second. Too much paper. Go away. Yes, I threw that on the floor. Laugh at me. I don't care. I'm cutting both layers at once here. And I'm going to cut all the way till I get to this right there. All right. Because I need to go in there and serge on both of those. I did not finish taping my paper. Silly girl. Why didn't you finish that? Because I'm running out of tape. That's why. I don't know how, and none of this got taped. Very weird. All right. Let's do this side. I kind of take the average of all my lines. Just kind of average them out and go somewhere in the middle of everything. In the middle of the mayhem. Haha. have a, what do they call this? Flap fitted. It's a flap fitted. All right. Do they put the snaps on all the layers? Probably not. Although it's only going to be 2 layers here, because that way it's 2, 2, and 2, and that's 6 layers total. Is that enough? Probably not. Not for overnight. Dang, I need to do 3, 3, 6, and up. I got to do 3 layers. Wow. Okay, I'm probably only going to snap through 2 of those layers. So the inside, the innermost layer will be completely solid. You won't see any snaps. I'll put some dots right here at the ends of this. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Curious to see what this looks like. All right, well, let me get about, let's see, if I'm using t-shirts, see, I want to use my, I don't want to make it out of t-shirts because it won't be enough layers. 9 layers of t-shirt is not the same as 9 layers of hemp, bamboo, cotton, fleece. I'll think about this and get right back to you. All right, I just psyched myself out. I'm going to do this. So check this out. If I take my favorite pattern ever, you can tell because it's really battered, and lay it on here, it is pretty much the same width. And this is, obviously, this is sized down for my little boy. This is the Opulent Monsters pattern, but I sized it way down because my little boy is skinny. So if I take this fitted and it's trimmed down, it's the perfect width for my son, and then I put a cover, an Opulent Monsters cover over it that's not trimmed down like this, just slightly wider. I mean, by slightly, it's ½ inch, I would say, ½ inch wider. So I feel like this pattern is already ½ inch wider, maybe less. So if I put it all the way over there. All right. It also proved to me that my tabs are the right width no matter what. They would have been fine. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that back down to match the pattern. I don't want it to be too crazy. And then, you know what? I'm going to use the fancy stuff, the hemp, bamboo, cotton, fleece, good stuff. Because I can. Get my pattern perfectly taped together here so it's not squirrely on us. And then we will pull over the cotton, fleece, hemp, bamboo. Somebody tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Aha. If this works out, I will post this video. All right? If it doesn't work out, I'll be the only one that knows. I'm done wasting tape now. Let's get started.